Welcome everybody to another GoldenDudez podcast. My name is Nick.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Travis.
And this one's going to be on the new Smash Bros. Fighters Pass 2. And some of our thoughts about the reveal of the ARMS character and who we would like to see more characters. So we did this already for like the first Fighters Pass, kind of throwing out some names of characters that we would kind of want to see. And really more speculation about the way that maybe the Fighters Pass can go in terms of what kind of characters that they're looking for. So this is pretty much dedicated to that Fighters Pass 2, and we'll probably throw in like our wish picks and whatnot. But to start things off, we're going to be talking about the ARMS reveal and talking about the lack of reaction that it was. And to be honest, we were just talking about this a little bit before recording. There was not a reaction, and it was clear that Nintendo wanted to get a reaction out of some people. And as Travis so eloquently pointed out before we started, one of the reasons is because it's ARMS, and not many people give a crap.
There's probably more people that would have lost their shit if they were like, Hello Kitty is going to be because of our beloved Hello Kitty Cruisers game. Like, no one cares about ARMS at all. The only thing I'm interested in is if it ends up being Springman, that opens up a whole new avenue again, because then that means that trophies don't mean that they're debunked. That is
true.
Only reason I'm somewhat excited that an ARMS character is coming. Because if it's him, specifically him, it opens up a whole new can of worms, which also kind of upsets me, because then Waluigi hype is going to come again.
It's going to be possible.
I want that to be dead.
So, no, but like I think it's so clear that Nintendo wanted to get a reaction out of people. And like you saw what happened when it came down to the last two people in the Fighters Pass were a little polarizing. Terry not as polarizing, but people were like, who the hell is this guy? Mm-hmm. But Byleth was clear because they got a clear backlash saying that people did not want this. People did not want another Fire Emblem character. But the weirdest thing about that is when they had the mini direct, Nintendo pretty much said, hey, we're telling you that this character is from ARMS, but who do you think it's going to be? But nobody really speculated. Nobody talked about it. Nobody was like, hey, do you think it's going to be Springman? Hey, do you think it's going to be Min Min? Nothing like that ever happened. So it's like, it's clear that it's just so weird, because every character up to this point for the Smash Bros. Fighters Pass has either been amazing or just terribly bad in terms of the reaction that it got. Banjo was like overwhelmingly positive, same with Joker, and like here Byleth was just overwhelmingly negative. This is the first one that breaks that stereotype of just no reaction happening at all. And then again, it opens up the door of, does it mean that trophies can still become characters? Does it still mean that spirits have a chance to become characters? Because that opens the door for characters like Bomberman, like Isaac, like Gino coming into the game as well. It's just weird that the lack of reaction was more telling, if anything, about where this Fighters Pass is starting. And it's like, the Fighters Pass original one ended on such a bland note, and it doesn't seem like they're hitting the ground running for the next one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I'm trying to figure out if having no reaction to the first one is better or worse than how the last one ended. Because obviously everyone hated that Byleth. Like, I personally like using Byleth because she doesn't, or he, I don't know, it's both, doesn't feel like just a sword character, so I don't mind it because it feels different. It's not, like, here's Marth, but in a slightly different way. So, at least they didn't use the, like, sword-only type character. But, same end, if they did another Fire Emblem. There's just so many other options in, like, games that they can do. Like, Xenoblade only has one, which is
That's what
sad.
I was actually going to go to next.
Oh, yes.
Was the fact that I think one of the characters that I know that we talked about earlier in our video, and one that I think would also be good to talk about here, is that, like, I do think that Xenoblade 2 is going to be a character. I mean, they already had the Mii skin. They straight up already expressed the fact that I'm pretty sure that they said that we didn't have the development time to put in Rex and Pyre and whatnot, which made it clear that a Xenoblade character was likely to happen. Personally, just my whole personal opinion, I think that a better character to be added would either be Elma from Chronicles X, or just because, like, again, there's a couple of plot twists that goes on with that character and whatnot in and Chronicles X near the end of the game. And also, I think that Jin and Laura, or that kind of combination, would be a lot more interesting than Rex and Pyra in my mind.
But Jin doesn't have nearly as big of knockers as Mithra does.
But he's got a cool anime mask, Travis. Come on.
He does have a cool anime mask.
But so that's like the thing when it comes down to like, I think a Xenoblade 2 character is very likely, and I think if anything it's most likely Rex and Pyra, and I don't think that would really cause a lot of backlash because so far you only have Shulk. You only have Shulk when it comes down to representing the Xenoblade series, and the Xenoblade series, especially with the definitive edition for Chronicles, the original coming out, it's clear that the series is pretty popular now, and a lot more people are discovering it. And Smash Bros. Does kind of go with the trend of, hey, this series is getting popular. Let's put in a character that'll get people interested. It happened with like Rosalina and Galaxy or whatnot. People liked Galaxy, so they put in Rosalina. People like Chronicles or Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so I'm guessing they're likely to put in Rex and Pyra.
Yeah, my question about that then is that would open the floodgates for costumes, and be like, well, since there's a Rex costume in the game, then does that mean that other characters with costumes can open it up?
Sans.
Yeah, that exactly.
Well,
that's where I was gonna go. I'm like,
one as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think that is a good point because so much of this Fighter Pass 2 is going to see if they're going to break any of these conventional rules, because some of the characters that I thought had a solid chance, like Isaac, and like I don't want to give it that much credit because my God, I really don't want to see Gino in the game. But if it's like that, and like a character that was a spirit gets put in the game for Fighters Pass 2, like it does kind of remove a lot of walls or like situations where people thought like, or certain ways that certain characters could be picked. And I'll be honest, I'd be super psyched to see that happen, but like I'm wondering if they're just going to go with a lot more new characters, because we know that the ARMS character is confirmed. We know about the we are very likely to get a Xenoblade 2 character, but besides that, the other 4 are very much in the air. Like, I think one of the ones that I think would be cool and is on the more likely side is actually Shantae, because Shantae's had a lot of representation on Nintendo consoles and whatnot, and is still pretty popular. Mm-hmm. I don't have any personal ties to Shantae, but I do think that she's likely.
Yeah, I just feel like that's the thing, is all the really good characters that we either think are likely or want to see are all like spirits or costumes, and so I feel like either they have to break convention, or like we're seeing with the ARMS thing, we're just going to get a bunch of announcements that we're not really that excited about, It's going to be one or the other, I feel like.
Yeah, and what's weird is that Nintendo is sitting on the most popular fighting game, or one of, if not the most popular fighting game since Street Fighter 2. So they can pretty much go anywhere with this and know that it's going to move console, or know that it's going to move copies no matter what. And usually the Fighters Pass does get a lot of people talking about it, but it's just so weird to see that they announced the Fighters Pass 2 and just nobody's talking about it. So I don't know, it's very weird for me to see it. I'm wondering if and I'm hoping that there's going to be a reveal like it, that they're going to go somewhere straight out of left field with like what happened with Joker. A pick like that, I think, would be a super cool addition, like, say, a Geralt from Witcher 3, or Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. I think characters like that would really shake up the system, but I don't think that they're very likely.
Yeah, well, when Sakurai basically said, just so you guys know, I didn't make these picks, Nintendo did, it makes me feel like, oh, maybe they're not going to be, like, super great if he's already trying to say, just so everyone knows, I didn't do these. Yeah. And I'm sure
it
that
wasn't my idea,
but
literally all of the characters are from ARMS, because they're like, someone needs to rival Fire Emblem, so let's make it ARMS.
Either that or the rest of them are all going to be Fire Emblem. It's going to be one or the other.
Byleth, Edelgard.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's part of the reason. I feel like I feel like there's not as much excitement over it, because I feel like even like within Nintendo, it doesn't seem like they're hyping it up so much.
Well, I mean, it also doesn't help that we're in, like, such a huge Nintendo Direct drought that, like, we don't even know anything about anything Nintendo. Like,
and without E3.
Yeah, there's no E3, and then didn't they just put out a thing that they weren't going to be able to get a Direct out by June? It would be, like, maybe August. And I'm like,
I heard that there's going to be a delay for the Summer Direct.
Yeah, so I'm like, are you kidding me? Because we only had that mini Direct. Like, there were some things in it that were, I don't even remember what was in it. That's how not awesome it was.
Xenoblade and extras, man. I mean, the BioShock collection was cool. Same with like the Borderlands. And
Right,
the
but
XCOM
I'm
and
like,
whatnot.
those are old games that, like, especially for Borderlands, I've already played the crap out of them.
Right.
Yeah, there wasn't a ton of new stuff that really would get you excited. And again, when they released when they talked about the Smash Bros. Character, they just said, "Hey, you guys can do some thinking."
Right, because like at least
from ARMS.
because all the other characters had a really cool reveal trailer. Like they could have at least done it where they had like a silhouette of an ARMS character, so you knew it was an ARMS character, but still like cooler than like one of them's coming.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
like if they could have at least gotten people talking a little bit more in that case without just saying the character is coming from this game series.
Exactly, because I'm like, that's the least interesting way to bring up a topic anyway about a game series that you shouldn't brag as a Nintendo exclusive. Like, no one cared. That'd be like, someone from 1-2 Switch is coming. It might be the cowboy guy.
Yeah, the farmer that milked the cow.
Hey, I will give this. If you went to, I've been to fighting game tournaments that has ARMS as a side event. I will give them this. ARMS people in the ARMS competitive community, they get hyped for their games. Like, you knew that their final set were going on because they were screaming their ass off. The whole venue could hear. So while we're not hyped about ARMS, I will say the ARMS community does seem pretty fun. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
So, but I guess then, just talking about some of the picks, who else do you guys think is likely? Because for me, the more that I'm thinking about it and the more poll data that I've been seeing, I think that a couple of characters that actually are fairly likely. One of them is actually Sora. If they want to have the way out of left field kind of mind-blowing reveal or something like that, I think Sora would be an actual cool addition to have there, and it seems more likely than other stuff that people are talking about, like Doom Guy and Master Chief.
Yeah, I would like Sora. I think that would be a cool addition. I feel like another Square Enix representative would be kind of nice. I like my heart as much as I would like Sora. I think even more I would like it if Sephiroth was in the game, because I don't like how Cloud is in the game and he has no villain with him at all. So I feel like either of those ones would be cool. I don't think Sephiroth is nearly as likely as Sora is, but I feel like Sora has been one of those ones. Sora is like pretty much in the Geno, Goku, and Waluigi category, where like everyone says it every single time, and then like there's never even like a hint that it might happen. So, you know, I think of course Sora is likely, but I think he's just as likely as like all the other ones that they keep saying are never going to happen. So who knows with that one?
Yeah. So right now Sora's still just like a dream pick for you, Mike?
Yeah, I would say so. Like I feel like, but again, Joker wasn't even a dream pick. Joker for me was like, that would be so cool, but that's literally never going to happen, and then it did. So I feel like you never know. Sometimes Nintendo does the most obvious thing, which was like the ARMS or Byleth, where they do like, okay, this is the obvious one that no one wanted. And then sometimes they do things like Cloud or Bayonetta, where it's like, that came out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah,
So
well, you know what?
or Banjo.
There has
Yeah.
to be one super old one, so I'm calling the call. Tony Hawk from Pro Skater 4.
dude, I would love
He just
that.
runs around, smacks people with a skateboard. And if he doesn't make it back to stage, he curses.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if they put Superman by Goldfinger in the game, oh my god,
yeah,
that's the
and
only song I'd be
obviously
listening to.
TNT will also be in the by
Yeah.
AC/DC. 'cause that was
There
how
you
the
go.
game
Oh my
got
God.
introduced.
That's
Not
great.
gonna lie, I think that'd be a kind of a fun fighter to put in the game.
It'd be hilarious, but
Likely no, but I mean, I think it'd be
likely no,
hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another character, I'm wondering if that, since we were talking about Square Enix characters, and one that I kind of just thought about, do you think that they'd be willing to, because of the fact that Bravely Default 2 is coming out, do you think that they'd package that in with that as being the Square Enix representative? Because that's from a different series altogether. Because they did it with a different series with Cloud, they did it with a different series with Hero, because Dragon Quest. I'm wondering, instead of doing that, I'm wondering if they might go, again, it's a Nintendo, so it's kind of hard to predict. I'm wondering if they might even go to a different series then and actually go with a Bravely Default character. Or I'm wondering if that might be too much of a stretch.
I mean, they could, but I feel like people would be annoyed. Not that Nintendo seems to care, but because I feel like I guess it depends on which class it is. That would fall a little bit close to Fire Emblem, because I feel like the most likely class they would pick are the ones that wield swords. You know, so I don't know that for sure. They could pick like something like a mage, but But regardless, whether they go with Mage or like Vanguard or whatever, it's either going to be another Magic user, like all the Fire Emblem characters, or another Sword wielder, like all the Fire Emblems. So they could, and I think it would be kind of cool. But I feel like I wonder if they know that that wouldn't go over super well, just because it wouldn't be like I feel like people want something really unique, you know, and I feel like maybe that wouldn't be unique enough. Again, not that Nintendo has ever cared about people's feedback on that, but you know, who knows?
All right, what do you think about Rayman then? Do you think Rayman would be unique enough to fit the bill?
Yes, I do. Rayman has a lot of different like abilities, but
yeah, Crash Bandicoot would be a good.
I forgot about Crash. Did we talk about Crash in the first video that we did?
Probably. I feel like
I can't imagine we would skip, because that was also around when like the trilogy just came out on Switch, so we were like, oh yeah.
Yeah, same with Spyro too. Spyro might have a solid chance to get in.
Yeah, hey, Ridley got in. Why not Spyro?
They're both purple dinosaurs, but then again, one was... I like what you're saying, Mike, about like having the hero and then the villain kind of on there. Because again, Samus went with Ridley, and like... I guess K. Rool also with like Donkey Kong and whatnot, and also Mario and Bowser. I do feel like it would be kind of fitting to have like the antagonist there. Like see Cloud fighting against some kind of unknown person. And again, with Final Fantasy VII Remake, so actually shit. No, I think the more that I'm putting these pieces together, Sephiroth might actually have a solid chance.
Yeah, Sephiroth has always been high just because I wish every good guy had their bad guy. And I get like Joker can't have that. Joker's bad guy was like, you know, I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah. Like Joker's bad villain you can't put in a video game. So like I feel like some characters you obviously can't, but the ones that have like main antagonists, like I want those antagonists in the game, you know?
Yeah. So I guess if I'm going to talk about the characters that I think are likely to see there, before I was going to say as we can end with our dream picks and people who we really wish wouldn't make it in. So I think that for me personally, I think the characters that are likely that they have a chance are like Crash Bandicoot, we have Shantae. I do still think Minecraft Steve has a solid... I don't know what his moveset would be. I think Minecraft Steve still has a solid chance to get in, because I mean...
He interests me, because you could do some weird crap with Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like, he could actually become a really fun character to use.
Oh, yeah.
And be the biggest troll.
Yeah. So those are the characters. Who else? Is there anyone else that you guys want to talk about that you think is likely before we move on to our dream picks?
See, and then we said a Xenoblade representative. Yeah. Because I can't imagine with how popular Xenoblade 2 was that they wouldn't put somebody with Shulk. Especially since Shulk, they're also having the remake.
On the topic of villains, not that I think it's likely, I would like to see like Eggman or Shadow. Maybe not Shadow, but more so Eggman. Another Sonic character. And I think Eggman...
Cool, not to
put
count
Knuckles in or something?
Yeah, like not to count Shadow as like an actual DLC character, but just bring him in as a clone.
Yeah, an Echo, basically, you know?
Because he would have the same moveset.
But
I am curious... Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I am curious that... Do you think that any character that might be a little more obscure in the Sonic series would have a chance? Maybe somebody like Rouge the Bat, or like... I'm wondering if they're going to go for some kind of more out there pick when it comes down to a Sonic character. Because I'm not sure if they'd go as basic as Knuckles in that case. Because I don't think Tails would be a good fit. Knuckles could... But, like, I'm wondering if that's, like, the kind of route that they could go, where they could do, like, a fake-out where you're thinking it's Knuckles, but then, like, Rouge comes out of nowhere and steals Master Emerald, and, oh my gosh, Rouge is coming into the game.
Oh, yes, please.
So, I don't know, like, I'm just throwing out an idea for that. I mean, I think that would be a really awesome trilogy to see. I think, okay, now I'm getting excited for Rouge now.
Yeah, I don't know if they would, just because, like, I mean, again, I don't know with Nintendo, but I feel like there'd be less appeal as opposed to, like, grabbing one of the main ones. And I feel like since Sonic right now is literally the only one, I feel like it would make more sense to grab, like, a Knuckles or an Eggman or a Shadow or someone. But, again, I never know with Nintendo, so...
Honestly, yeah, Eggman in a mech suit or something.
Yeah, I feel like they could do a lot with him, you know? He could almost be, like, Bowser Jr.-esque. Where like he's like in his cart.
That'd be a good moveset for him as well.
Yeah.
So I guess to end this off, let's talk about our dream picks to get in and dream picks not to get in. My dream picks to get in would be, as I was talking about before, Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, Geralt from Witcher 3, or Hat Kid from A Hat in Time. And the one character that I really want to beat over my head with a hammer if I see get in the game is Geno. Because fuck that guy.
I would agree with Geno just because I've never I technically have played Super Mario RPG, but I haven't gotten to the point where he comes in. But I'm like, why is there so much hype over this one character that showed up in one game and has never done anything else? Like, why do we care? But
I don't understand the hype for Gino. Man.
I have like a lot that I know I wouldn't, because as much as I love Halo, I would hate Master Chief as a character, like a playable character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he would be so campy and annoying to deal with that I would hate him in everything that he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had another one that Waluigi is on my list of I don't want. Just because we don't need another Mario rep, and he wouldn't even have like a unique moveset that would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, you would just be making up super random stuff to make him feel different, or he would just feel the same like Mario, and I'd be like, well, I'll just use Mario then.
Yeah. I think...
Yeah.
Mike, you go, and I'll try to think of people I actually would like really, really want to see that isn't likely.
To add to your list of don't wants, I don't really want any like shooter like Doom guy. I don't like the idea of, for the same reason you said. I like it seems too campy and it doesn't fit in enough. Like I like the idea of something that's out there, but like I don't want something that's so out there that like I'm gonna stand far away and shoot you with my assault rifle. Like I don't like that idea to me. A dream pick of mine that I don't think would ever happen, but I could see it potentially as like a random out of nowhere one is Billy Hatcher. I absolutely adore that game, and I feel like Billy Hatcher's so unique with the fact that he can use his eggs. He has his different animal partners that he can work with. I feel like there could be some very unique and fun character movesets. I just feel like Nintendo may have forgotten that game ever existed. So I think that's a likely pick. I don't think it's likely, but how am I trying to say this? I feel like if they go with some completely out of nowhere, I think Billy Hatcher could very possibly be a pick. I don't think there's any problem with it, but I feel like it's unlikely. Like, nothing's stopping them from doing it, and I think it would make sense, but I just feel like Billy Hatcher is unlikely, but I think it would be really cool. I feel like he'd also be really fun to play as. So he's like my dream pick, and then obviously we mentioned Sephiroth too. Not so much because he'd be unique, but just because I would like it to complement Cloud. But then, for my don'ts, I don't want anyone that wields like a gun, and I'd prefer not like a main sword fighter. But it's not his main weapon. I don't want like a Master Chief or a Doom guy that's literally just shooting the entire time and running away.
Hey, his main weapon could be an energy sword, okay?
Or a skull.
That would actually... Well, that would have to be his taunt, right? He just pulls it out, and he'd
That'd
be like,
awesome.
that's amazing.
Yeah, so those are probably my picks.
Because, like, I'm so torn, because all of the games that I really like that would be nostalgic. Well, I guess Sly Cooper would be really cool. I'd be totally down for that. Because he would feel really unique, and that was a big part of my childhood. But I'm like, Halo, but I would hate him. Like, it'd be cool to give the nod off to it, but I'm like, I don't care all too much about that. I want to enjoy playing the character, and Master Chief would just drive me insane.
Millie from Millie.
You know what? Let's just put a Jedi in there.
Yeah, there you go.
We need
Hey,
more
Yoda was in Soul Calibur
lightsabers.
4.
Feels totally different from swords.
Yeah, wait, Mike. Soul Calibur 4, right? Was where Yoda was in, or was it Soul Calibur 5?
5, 4. 4. It was 4.
All right, it was 4. Okay, but yeah, Yoda could happen. Never know.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just put the Fallen Order. I'm forgetting his name right now, but
Kylo Ren.
no. I'm thinking of the good EA game.
Oh, Cal.
That doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, before we get too off topic, thank you all for joining us. Those are our kind of dream picks or whatnot, and talking about Fighters Pass 2. Let us know about your thoughts as well in the comment section below. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, adios.
Bye-bye.